We're able to for now. So let's see how it goes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and load this page up. Come along. Takes a second in the internet ether. That's the old one. I do like the little free screen that StreamYard gives you. That's kind of cool with little stars and the countdown.
Yeah.
We'll do that next time. Close it, reopen it if it's not ready. We're just going to go ahead and go live. Let's go to the starting page so everybody knows we are, in fact, starting soon. We did a little thing today, my daughter and I, with the game we would like to play. We did an unboxing. We opened like prizes and stuff that you won in the game itself.
Nice.
That was fun.
Now, prizes he won or prizes you won, or y'all work together?
We opened them together. So yes and yes. Share, X. Come on, man. Use chat. Perfect. Chat live. 2025. Episode 1. There's that. What's up with you? Now my dog wants to play right now. Laugh. Do it. What's going on? Chief Shout audience, where did you go? Where did Huong Forrest go? Uh-oh.
I'm here.
I believe you. Close that. Oh, the TikTok monitor popped up because it wanted to, and it popped up on your page, which is weird. You're back. You're there. You're present and accounted for. That was weird. But here we are, and we'll join you guys with news of the day of the season of the. We lost the Super Bowl. Okay, it's not a fun scab to pick at, but we did, and it was a tough game to watch. Never really seemed to get going, even when we had the big comeback late in the game. Just the lack of willingness to run the football was painful to watch. A lot of people have gone over this and re-gone over this, so we're not going to beat it ad nauseum. You guys all know the deal. We haven't been back in a while because we've been busy. Let you go first. What have you been up to, Huong Forrest?
Life's been lifing, just very busy, just the norm, I feel like there's not a moment that is not really truly busy, but I've been on the road the last few weeks. The boys have had one child that has had basketball, which always seems to be like the longest season ever. We were all sick for a couple of weeks. So there's that to contend with as well. So yeah, I think that's everything that has happened since the Super Bowl. Was a lot of just winter yucks and travels and sports and just lifing.
Yeah. Life's gonna life, whether you like it or not. Be ready
Right,
to
exactly.
deal with it, roll with it, have fun with it, because
Exactly. How about you? What have you been up to since the Super Bowl?
Been up to first of all healing emotionally.
Oh yes,
that was
as
okay.
all of us.
You know what? Within 2 days, I was like, my mentality was, we won a year ago. Like a year from that, we were hoisting the trophy. So I was pretty relaxed about it. I ran into a guy at work who I barely know. I've seen him a couple times at my side job, my MIC job, we call it in the acting world. A little extra job we keep to have a little extra money coming in between gigs, and if gigs are slow, you work a lot more at the extra job. But he was there. We barely know each other. He's a big Eagle fan. I'm talking to some other friends outside the shop, we'll call it, and they're ribbing me, and rightfully so, because I am the always wearing Chiefs gear to work guy, always wearing something, always got a smile on my face, because our starters lost one game last season. Remember that, folks. Our starters, for all the people who think the Chiefs are washed, our starters lost one game, and we had a plethora of injuries. So Go ahead and hang your hat on that word washed thing and see how that works out for you. But we're sitting there talking. I'm just taking it, in stride. And then all of a sudden, I hear like there's swinging doors behind me. They come open, almost like a saloon, like your little whistle in the back down. And I turn, and we're like this far apart. And it's like actually he's like this because he's like maybe 5'7". And I'm a big guy. So I look down at him. He's got his hands in his pockets of this crisp, beautiful Kelly green, whatever eagle green, whatever the color is, hoodie with a nice big eagle, like clearly a brand new hoodie. And he's got a black eagle hat with the eagle on there. And he's looking at me like, if Huong, you can't see what my eyes are bugging out. He's looking up at me like, oh crap, what's going to happen? And I don't know what he thought I was going to do, or what kind of fan he thought I was. I go, hey man. I held my arms like bring it in. I give him a big hug. I go, heck of a game. You guys brought it from snap one all the way through. You brought it. You fought hard. You earned it. Nothing to say, but congratulations. And he goes, oh my God. I didn't know. I was just so, wasn't it great to this? Yeah, man. It's all, you should be proud. You should be very happy. I was rooting for, I'm not rooting for, but happy for Jalen Hurts and happy for Saquon Barkley, because I didn't really like Jalen the first time we played him, because he seemed to have a bit of a chip. To the negative degree. And then I think that loss kind of broke that chip off of like, hey, I can play my best game ever, which you kind of did, and still lose. And I'm like, yeah, a few years before that, the Eagles won a Super Bowl against Tom Brady, who probably had his best Super Bowl ever, and lost. It's a team game. And I think he really came around that corner and got that, because it was about, let's make things happen. This game's going okay, but not great. Saquon's getting stuffed. I'm going to use my legs, and I'm going to make things happen. I'm going to make this team give up yards. So it was really interesting to watch as a football player, to try to sit back and look at it and go, wow, this is an unexpected result. But at the same time, I was like, we had issues on our offensive line at the tackle spots. I was after a quarter. Let me know what you think. My impression was after one quarter, and Mike Caliendo, backup guy, had a great season for what he had to do. But after a quarter, I was like, move Tooney back inside and give us the strongest interior three in the league again. Because right now we just got a diluted line across the board. Instead of having weak tackles, our interior was weak as well, which made the whole line suspect. So put that three guys inside that are our best blockers, and run the ball to the gut until they honor that. And then when they tighten up, then start taking some shots like we did late in the game. And guess what? Lo and behold, Xavier Worthy's pretty good. Your thoughts on Mr. Worthy's breakout in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, man, I was trying to rack my brain back and take us back there and put myself back to what happened in that game.
Just revisit it. Don't relive it, because there's no need of that.
Yeah, don't need to relive it. I think I was just in one of those places where, Xavier had a great game, but things, I remember waiting for the adjustments to be made. And I remember thinking, we're going to make the adjustments. Things are going to happen. They're going to shift it around the players so that we get the, like you said, the best guys on the interior. But then it didn't happen. And then I just kind of sat there. I was like, this is how it's going to be. Okay. We don't want to win it this year, I guess. It was a very weird feeling. It wasn't quite the way I felt that year that we lost to the Buccaneers. No. That year, I kind of felt the energy wasn't quite where it was at, just in the way that our players came out onto the field. Yeah. This year, it was just one of those. I'm still waiting for the adjustments to be made.
Yeah. We all are. So that was what was interesting was the year against the Bucs, no line except for Eric Fisher going into the AFC Championship, and then we lose Eric, and it's all backups. Like that was just a drubbing waiting to happen. Guys dropping touchdowns in the end zone. It sucked, and the Bucs were a great team. This one, it was funny. What was interesting was like leading up to the game. The refs are in the bag. The refs are for the Chiefs. The Eagles might have 5 or 6 players that are sick. Like the sewing in of excuses, I could have done without that. So if we win, it's because you guys are sick and the refs cheat. Is that what you already have an excuse for why we might win? We end up getting whooped, and find out later that Kelsey and a couple other guys were really sick, like really ill. And the refs, they did not give us any calls. In fact, they went against us a number of times. I won't go into it. I don't know that if any of those calls were reversed, we would have won anyway. But it was pretty shoddy refereeing. I had to mute the game within about a quarter, and then I minimized it on my screen. I started playing the video game because I'm like, I'm not going to be happy if I watch this properly because Nick Bolton running into the back of Saquon Barkley is not roughing. A safety or a wide receiver going up against a huge tight end and then bumping into each other, and the tight end diving like the worst boxer faking out in history is not rough, like not hitting a defenseless receiver. Like just the calls were pathetic. They were pathetic. So I was like, let me just turn this off. And there was only a few. It was those two, maybe one other one that were egregious. Other than that, that's not enough to save that game. Although one of them led to a touchdown that would have led to a punt instead. So makes a difference. Again, like the Buccaneers game. If Tyreek doesn't drag the defense, three guys with them into the corner of the end zone with Travis, who's by himself one-on-one, and guys being beat, and Travis catches a touchdown on our first drive, how different is that football game? We'll never know. But instead Tyreek ran in there. Travis begged off to try to give him room to catch it, and he let it hit himself in the face and hit the ground. And now Tyreek's maybe going to be a Raider. I don't know what's going on. He's probably on his way out of Miami too. Funny how that worked out. But yeah, man. I mean, kudos. There's a new champ in town. We already made history. We were the first team ever to go to 2, win 2, and go to a third. No one's ever done this. This team was dealing with injuries, dealing with 3 different kickers had walk-up field goals wins, like blocked kicks multiple times, kick going off the up, like just everything was. Those things people go, it's luck. Okay, you know what it is. The whole you got to be lucky to be good. You got to be good to be lucky. You got to be good to be lucky part, Hong, is when you're really good. The luck lies in the fact that the other team is nervous as shit. The other team is clenching their butt every time they try to make a play. And when you get kickers inside their head nervous, they start doing silly things like kicking it into a block or hitting an upright. It's funny how when we sucked as a team back in the day, which we all remember those painful days, teams never miss kicks against us ever. Don't ever expect it because they're like, oh, it's just the Chiefs. Boom, routine, right through the middle of the uprights every time. Like, and then we see them have wins, and we're like, why can't we get a lucky bounce like that? Well, now we're the team that gets lucky bounces sometimes. This team, the offensive line. We can go over some of the pickups and some of the losses of players. I wanted to review some of that with you. Do you want to go over the losses or additions first?
We can go over losses and see who has left our team since this offseason.
Okay, so starting off with Carson Wentz. The thing I heard latest was he was going to go coach at North Dakota State. Is that true?
Yeah, I did hear that too. Yeah, he's going to enter the collegiate football scene.
Yeah, he probably wants to train young men and stop carrying a clipboard and standing on the sideline and have more time with his family. Even as a coach, you still have more time with the family at a college level. Kareem Hunt running backs. Kareem Hunt's back. It says Samaje Perine going back to the Bengals.
Yep.
For $1.5 million. So congratulations.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel like losing Samaje Perine? I don't like it. I liked him a
lot. Go back to where
he was fun. He was fun, wasn't he?
Good. Oh yeah,
pro, make surprisingly good plays out of the like this guy's. He'll sneak up on you. You know.
Him not being re-signed for another year kind of surprised me. Actually, I would have loved to have him back.
Yeah, it's that. I mean, but then we'd be re-signing 2 30-year-old backs.
Oh
I just think that coaches get in their head about, do we want to do that? One that we did re-sign that I'm very excited about. 28-year-old. $9 million contract. I think there's incentives to make it up to 13. Hollywood, Marquise Brown is coming back.
Yeah.
That I'm excited about. How good does that make you feel? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that it's going to mean more this year than last year?
Oh, it has to be more this year than last year. I felt like he was a little, and I think he had kind of one of those, he wanted to do more in the season, didn't get to do as much as he would have liked to do. So maybe this would be the opportunity. I was a little surprised that we brought him back for another year, but I hope that he makes the most of this.
I wasn't surprised because of the injury. I was surprised we got him back. But I was a little surprised that other people weren't willing to kick the tires on him because he's only 28. Yeah, he's coming off. He came off an injury, but he came back and played. And he played well when he did get a chance to touch the ball. But he was so limited in reps during the regular season. He was looking really good in the preseason. Gets hurt, misses a ton of time, and then comes back at the end of the season. It's like he's Mr. First Down. Like he's right away. I was watching. The tough part was watching him play in the playoffs, and it's like if we had Rashee Rice doing crossers right now, like teams would be screwed. It would be such a different situation. Like. they're still kind of loosely covering us, and they're kind of confident with Rashee Rice up there and Xavier and Marquise. I think would have been a big difference, and we're going to have a chance, hopefully, to see all that. We'll talk about that in a minute, but hopefully the off the field issues won't be too much of a headache. Mecole Hardman goes to the Cheeseheads. Mecole Hardman is only 27. The drama that kid's been through physically with his career and like with his championships and on the field and off the field as a player, like not on the field drama or anything, but being healthy, being unhealthy. He's only 27. It feels like he's been around forever with the Chiefs.
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins goes to our vaunted enemies, the Baltimore Ravens. At 33 years old. I don't know if he feels like he's going to get a lot more options over there, but probably not.
It's kind of a cool signing for them, though, I will say, because they do have such great names and great athletes and stars over there. I feel like this is a great spot for him. But like you said, I don't know that it'll be any greater wins for him there than he had in Kansas City.
He's 33. I know we said we're talking about the ones that are gone, but this kind of mixes and mashes. Like we had Marquise already, another wide receiver coming back who, again, only 28. It feels like he's 38. Feels like he's been around forever. Juju Smith-Schuster's coming back. 28-year-old Juju. I'm excited about that. I like what he brings. I like the juju that he brings to this team, the energy he brings to this team, his knowledge of the offense. He's our upgrade of Jason Avant when Andy first took over the Chiefs. He's just that I'll get your first down, and I'll be a little more squeaky and shifty than people think, and I'll turn it into like 25 or 30 yards instead of 6 or 11. So I like what he brings. And of course, my favorite unheralded hero and had big plays and had big moments, Justin Watson going off to the Texans at 30 years old. Again, another 30-year-old. Came got a few rings. Sure, Justin. Take a couple rings and just skedaddle on us, right?
Skedaddle.
He's making 1.7 million. I'm not gonna fault him for going and making almost $2 million a year. We're waiting. Have you heard anything about Jody Fortson or Peyton Hendershot? Because the thing I'm looking at is from late March.
I've not seen anything come through on either of them at this time.
Okay. Because they're still listed as free agents. Mike Caliendo's back. DJ Humphries, I don't know. It doesn't say here. This is off Arrowhead Addict. Malik Herring came back. Derek Nottie, I think that's a loss. That's a solid loss. Derek Nottie's only 29. He's just been this fire hydrant in the middle. Always stalwart. Every once in a while gets some penetration and makes a play on the quarterback, but always like evil against the run, just like violent against the run. Like you think you're going to slide past Chris and just get a free shot? No. Derek's going to be there to thump you, and now he's not going to be there, so we'll miss him. Charles Omenihu's coming back. It says TBD on here, but he's coming back. Mike Pinnell's coming back. Marlon Tuipulotu's coming back. Josh Uche, who was this year's TJ Spiller on the roster off the roster. Well, he was never left the team, but he was just kind of there. He's an Eagle. So hopefully he can do something there and have his career revived a little bit. He's only 27. Another big loss is going to be sneaky painful if we don't replace him with the proper guy. Turk Wharton going to the Panthers. Yes. How old do you think Turk Wharton is? He's another one of those ones I thought he was older because
27, 28.
27. Good call. He's making almost $3 million with the Panthers.
Good for him.
Yeah. We got our linebackers back. I won't go into that. Nazi Johnson. Justin Reed. One of my favorite players. Gone to the Saints. Man. Justin hard-hitting Reed is going to the Saints. Say it isn't so. Keith Taylor to the Falcons. So he'll be just down the road from me. That's interesting. Matt Arraez is obviously back. Although some drafts have us like taking a punter in like the third round. Like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We have no need to do that. Stop it.
Not at all.
Or kicker. We're not getting rid of Harrison Butker, so people can stop being silly. James Winchester's back at the ripe old age of 36. Feels like he's 57. He's been there forever. And obviously Spencer Schrader going to the Colts because we don't need another kicker, an extra kicker. Those are the big things that they had on Arrowhead Addict. Now the signings that we had, I want to go over those with you. Backup linebackers, Blake Lynch, people like that. Robert Tonyan tight end, formerly of the Packers, Cole Christensen, another linebacker. These are multiple ring guys, those linebackers. These are guys that are going to be introduced as multiple time Super Bowl champions. They've played maybe like three downs in playoffs, but that's really cool for them because they're part of that team. They're part of that iron sharpening iron. We talked about Marquise Brown. Additions, the three major additions that I want to talk about with you. We mentioned the offensive line, but pass pro and replacement for more so I would say Jerick McKinnon and Samaje Perine, Elijah Mitchell from the 49ers. I'm pretty excited about that.
As long as he stays healthy.
Yes. This is always key. This is key for everyone. Christian Fulton from the Chargers, who had quietly his best season as a pro after 4 years with the Titans and 1 year with the Chargers. He had his best numbers last year tackle wise, and you know how Spags likes a good tackling corner. And then Jalen Moore. We're going to go into the numbers on these offensive linemen because we lost. The big loss is Joe Thuney, obviously. Yes. Joe Thuney going to the Chicago Bears. We're going to look at his numbers too, and it's going to be painful to watch. Throw in there, we added Bailey Zappi as a backup. We added Jerry Tillery, who I'm not thrilled about because the two things I know Jerry Tillery the most for were bonehead plays for the Rams and for the Raiders. And I'm like, do we really want that on our defensive line? Like, is that the answer? I don't think so. We'll see how it goes. Camp could change a lot of things. Is there anybody in there that was a surprise to you? Oh, and Mike Edwards was added. He's back.
Well, added Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew. Yes. Sorry, skipped right over him to Jerry Tillery and forgot. I mentioned Bailey Zappi. Sorry, Gardner. You're going to be the backup. We know Bailey Zappi is going to be a rotation guy, third string call up, but he'll be the main backup. I saw that, and the first thing I said, we're going to have dueling jorts in camp.
Right.
Patrick and Gardner. We're going to be the only franchise in the NFL that has two quarterbacks wearing jorts at training camp, and I'm here for it. I think it's hilarious. I mean,
he's going to bring a lot of personality, so it's the pressers that he'll do. They'll be quite entertaining.
And no ill will or criticism of Carson Wentz. I just think Gardner brings us more solid backup quarterback play just because he hadn't lost his I feel like Carson Wentz was a little concerned about making the big mistake because he had so many stops and so many hiccups along the way where Gardner's just still kind of gunning and running. And we kind of need somebody that's not thinking too much or not. I don't know what's going through Carson Wentz's head when he plays, but I feel like Gardner plays a little more carefree.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does. It'll be exciting to watch him. I've watched him play since his college days, and when he first got out of college and entered this level. So it'll be exciting to see what he does for us as a backup option.
He can sling it too. Preseason's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see. He's a guy that could help some backup wide receivers earn a job. That's who he is. And then Janarius Robinson was the last one. I didn't know what that was yesterday. Janarius Robinson, formerly of Florida State University, former teammate of Joshua Kendo, and everybody rated him as the better of the two. And we've had the Joshua Kendo experience, and now we're going to have apparently the Janarius Robinson experience. We'll see how that goes. So those are the guys that we've added and subtracted so far. We got the draft coming up. It's a big draft. I've seen everything from the usual, we're going to get a D tackle from some small school in the first round, to we're going to reach and grab this, or we're going to grab that. I saw some that said we're going to grab a wide receiver late in the first round. And honestly, I'm like, my thoughts are this. If there is a really good wide receiver, even if it's like Isaiah Bond or something, get back-to-back Texas wide receivers with crazy speed. If there's a wide receiver available, how would you feel? If it's a guy that there's no, can we get a guy that's got no off the field anything? There's no issues. The guy likes to stay home and read. The guy doesn't go out at night. Like, can we just get a guy that's not going to go to Sonic with a little spliff in his back pocket? Like, just stay in trouble wide receivers. Can we get one of those? Because we get these guys with really good talent, and it's just like, and I feel for Xavier because his is not self-inflicted. His is. From everything I've read, it sounds like he's been kind of set up, and it was kind of a bit of a scam by his girlfriend to extort some cash.
Everybody jumps to judge him a little too quickly there.
Yeah. So hopefully that will be a nothing burger. But strangely, she filed for a restraining order against him, and a judge awarded it. which doesn't look good on the newspaper headlines. It's like, why does he need a restraining order if he's the victim? You know, he doesn't want to go after her. He just wanted her out. Apparently, she still got some of his stuff. We got some chat going crazy here. Let's go into the chat first before we go further. So we got to keep this brief tonight. Can't go too crazy long. I know you have a life, and my daughter wants to watch a movie. So, by the way, we'll talk about movies and stuff too. So.
Yes, we should.
Kevin McDang, haven't even seen one of these forever. Well, you haven't been missing anything, man, because I've been on hiatus. I've been funnily enough, I'm the actor who's been on hiatus from football stuff because I've been acting. So you'll see me in a movie.
That's why we're here tonight, Kevin. Wanted to bring something to your Saturday night space.
You'll see a silly commercial that I'm in with a donkey, and you'll see me in a movie coming up, and yeah. Hopefully a lot of that stuff's going to go on. We're getting busy again. Auditions are picking up a lot, so I'm excited about that.
Good thing.
Yes, it's a very good thing. Not sure if you guys hear, but Dan is super echoey. Am I super echoey? I apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on, but I'll move the microphone away a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Maybe my phone's turned up a little bit. It is a little bit. Let me turn it all the way down. Hopefully that's better. Sometimes my phone will give feedback when it's got volume on. I'm not really in the mood to talk about football after the disastrous effort when history was at stake. But Kevin Capel, as I mentioned before, small victory. We did record history. We were the first team ever to go to 3 in a row as winners the previous 2. No one's ever done that. That's crazy. Our starters lost 1 game. Did I mention our starters lost 1 game, huh? Like everybody's sleeping on that. It's like we talked about the undefeated season we're trying to get, and it's like. Now with this the new have you heard about the playoffs, the way they want to seed things? It won't affect so much the teams at the top, but the middling teams, like the teams that like the 7 and 9 Seahawks who won their division years ago, they would be like the 7th seed instead of the 4th seed, because they're going to go number one and gets the home field advantage and gets the first week bye. Everybody else you get seeded by your record, and I'm here for that. I'm all the way here for that. There's no way an 11 and whatever 11 win team should go on the road to face a 9-win team, or especially.
Did that get passed, or are they tabling that until May?
The last I heard, it was still in discussion.
Okay.
Further review. Whatever we hear that, we know it's not going the Chiefs' way. The call's not going our way. So maybe it won't happen. Let's see what else we got here. Kevin Ray, feel like we could use Pirine more. Absolutely. I agree. I think we're both in agreement on that. Not in agreement, folks. In agreement. Although agreement has been accepted as a alternative usage for the expression that agreement implies. Agreement is not. It's like addicting. Nothing's addicting. Addicting is an action. Drugs don't addict you to them. You get addicted to. It's addictive. If something is inanimate and you can become a certain way about it, then it is an iv, not an ing. But that is also acceptable because we're just using English language now. We just throw it all over the place.
Wait, so you're throwing me off. Is it agreement?
Agreement.
Agreement
has been accepted. Agreement has been another acceptable alternate form. So, the English language, I pity people who are not English as a first language people, because it was already hard enough because there's so many inconsistent pronunciations and rules. This is always this way, except in these 3 cases. These 3 right here. This is always that way, except this word doesn't rhyme with that word, although they're spelled exactly the same except for the first letter. For instance,
so when we live
in comb.
Exactly. My parents are definitely English as a second language, of course.
Yes.
And living in Kansas City for the longest time, my dad had the hardest time understanding. When you fill out your address, it says your address, city, state, zip code.
Right.
Well, we lived in Kansas City. My dad, when he was filling out forms, would write Kansas and leave out the city because city was listed right there underneath. I'm like, no, Dad, we live in Kansas City, the city of Kansas City. You still have to add city. Yeah. And he couldn't comprehend why that was a thing. So
why is this? Why do I have to write city twice? I don't have to stutter. Why am I doing this? They're going to think I don't know how to speak English. I totally understand where your dad's coming from. You're right.
Using that as a prime example, since we are a Kansas City Chiefs chat.
Yes, Mr. Huong's dad, you're correct, sir. I agree with you. We are in agreement. We are in agreement, sir.
There we go.
Time to get younger. Agree. I feel like Elijah Mitchell is a very similar style of back. more effective between the tackles even. So, but similar in a lot of ways to Jerick McKinnon in the catching the ball in the backfield and in the injury proneness coming from San Francisco. They both came from San Fran. They both were injury prone guys. Hopefully he'll have the same kind of trip with Kansas City where it's like, you're going to carry the ball. You carried the ball this much in San Fran. You're going to carry this much in Kansas City, and you'll be able to stay healthy and be explosive all year. How's that sound? Because I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be the two Thunderheads, Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco are going to be ramming in people a lot. They're going to bring Elijah Mitchell in and go, hey, defense, you guys tired? Here comes Elijah. Good luck. You know? I'm excited about it. Can you tell I'm excited about this season? I feel good about our chances.
Just a little bit.
I feel good about our chances of wrecking people and ruining their season again. Gary says, Dan Huong, will the Chiefs re-sign receiver Colt Pierce, or will the Chiefs try to sign Tyreek Hill?
I would be shocked if we tried to sign Tyreek Hill.
Is Pierce somehow available?
I don't know.
Don't tell me that, because I like that guy. Wait a minute.
Huh. Yep, hold on. Let's see.
It's Alec Pierce, right? Let's see here. Alec Pierce, is he a free agent? Because he was drafted the same year as our young man, Scott Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they're both second round guys, so he would be potentially. Just still says Colts. Alec Pierce to the Raiders, Kenneth Walker trade, Krishna, all these thoughts, everybody's to the Raiders. Every receiver is to the Raiders before anybody else. I mean, I would take him in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? I wanted that guy so bad coming out of college. The way he snatches the ball to the air above his head, running across the like, just yes, please, yes, please, and they'll keep his nose clean. So yeah, be a good boy. He'll go home at 10 o'clock at night, the latest. I have no idea. I'm just hoping. Good to see you too, Mark Hernandez. Madman KC here. He says, and then Gary Hall and everybody saying hello, of course, because we have polite members of chat most of the time, except for a few rude people during the playoffs. You know who you are. Chiefs need to draft an impact running back, a game-changing running back. I don't think that's going to happen. Don't hold your breath for that, because I feel like we've got two guys right now that can run through the wall. If you just how do you put this? I feel like the same way I felt when Kareem Hunt was drafted, and our offensive coordinator was our current offensive coordinator, Matt somebody. We won't. You know who I'm talking about. And he forgets about the run sometimes, and I feel like he did that in the Super Bowl, and it was much to our detriment. They ran the ball 45 times. Their running back was barely getting 2 yards to carry, even though he was a 2,000-yard stud all season long. Our defense was not having it at all with Saquon. They're like, you're not going to be the reason we lose. You will not beat us today. But they kept running because that kept us honest. And every once in a while they go, boo, and throwing over our head. And God forbid we breathe on anyone downfield, because that's going to be a flag on the defense. You think we'd learn? We think we'd see it happening to us? It's like, wait a minute. He punched me in the face and it hurt. So maybe I'll punch him in the face and it'll hurt. Hey, he ran an out and got a flag. Maybe I'll run an out and up and get a flag. No, let's just run the same. Oh, it's not working. Oh, sack, interception. Now you're making me feel it, folks. Now you got me getting into the, I don't want to talk football. I do have an echo. Somebody says Minshew Mania. Yes, sir. He plays in the end of every game because we have a 28-point lead. I agree.
I love that.
Brink. I hope he plays 17 quarters this year, and they're all the fourth quarter of wins. It would be fantastic.
I like that.
One guy likes the DT Collins. I've seen a lot of people giving the offensive tackle Collins. Is Ohio State's an offensive tackle? He is, right? There's a Collins at Ohio State. There's two Joshes I thought were offensive tackles. Can you tell that I haven't looked at the draft at all, except for an hour before the show tonight?
No, I don't look at the draft.
Yes, I can't leave it up to her because it's not fair. It's my responsibility. Good thing is I catch up fast. So this thing I'm wrapping on Monday's my last. I got 2 days. Tomorrow Monday are my last 2 days. So when this film wraps, I'm going to be deep diving into this stuff each night after my side gig. And I'll catch up quick. Don't worry. We'll know exactly what's going on.
And we'll be running a mock drafts as well live. So
we'll be running a bunch to have fun with you guys. The kid from there's a tackle named Josh, I think Connerly from the Oregon Ducks that they've been pitching to us, and the kid from Ohio State they've been pitching to us. So we'll see. One guy said that maybe we'll get Egbuka, the wide receiver from Ohio State. So who knows? Who knows which way the winds are going to blow? Because we don't know which way the courts and the NFL are going to go with Mr. Rice particularly. So I'm concerned. A lot of people are like, oh, well, he's not going to get this, that. And I am worried that we're not going to see him this year at all, to be quite honest. 8 charges. There are 8 felony charges against him right now. That's not a good look. And the NFL might just go, you know what? Looks like some of these are going to stick, so we're going to go ahead and preemptively put you on commissioner's suspension. How about that? So you get that time served later on, but in the meantime, you don't have a wide receiver. So that would suck. But we'll see. It's self-induced. You can't, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's unfortunate. He's young. Hopefully he'll grow from this. And it's going to suck if we don't have him this year because we lost him for most of last year. Bad echo. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to go through my microphone stuff later and reset everything. But Elgato is supposed to be this great mic, and every once in a while it just resets itself, and I don't know because I don't hear it in my headphones. And I think that's about it. Pierce should have another year on a rookie. I can't remember. I think the person was suggesting we trade for him though, because I don't think he's happy there. Because they're like putting guys in front of him, and I wouldn't be happy either. If you want to play, you want to play. What am I saying? I would just give me $5 million a year to practice and not even get to play on Sundays, and I'd be totally fine.
Me too.
People complaining about the money they get. I'm like, you just stop it. You're just ridiculous. It's a game. You're playing a football game. Anyway, that gets us caught up with that. I want to touch really quickly on the offensive line. I'm excited about what I'm seeing. If you have a heart out, let me know. I don't want to stress you out.
Oh, we're good for another 15 minutes. We're good.
Okay. So at reference, just to give you guys some general reference points, our offensive line, the tackle situation, which we mentioned before, that's you. I got to pull you back up. Hang on a second. I minimized the page because I thought it was covering you, and it was actually you. There you go. Okay. Because I only have the big monitor right now. So Joe Tooney moved to left tackle after week 15, or in week 15, right? The first 14 weeks of 2024 had an average of 2.7 sacks per game, or 35 sacks we had. That's a lot. You want to try to get 31 or less in the season, and we had 35 in the first 14 weeks. After that, we allowed 11 sacks. From the time Joe Tooney took over left tackle. Thing is, Joe Tooney didn't allow a sack in that time, and of those, 5 of those 11 sacks came in week 18 when the Chiefs were resting the starters. So there were only 6 sacks between week 14 and week 18, except for one game, which is a big improvement. Now individually, you go across the board. Come on, don't act up on me now. Let's close you. Oh, it's acting up on me now. I got a page with all my details, and of course now it's going to go. I don't know if I want to open for you. I feel weird. Come on, Google. It's all Google. Where you at? Okay, there's Pufa. There we go. Okay. So Trey Smith, unsurprisingly, 0 sacks allowed. Okay. I don't know why it's going to my guard first. Maybe it shut down my. I'm going to give. Oh, there he is. Okay. Juwan Taylor might have got a break because he was not looking good. Where are you, Juwan? I don't want to give you away. I don't want to give you a break. You got to. Let everybody know what you did wrong. Okay, we'll do Trey first. Trey Smith had the problem is he had 9 penalties. And most of those were holding, and half of them were BS because he was doing the lay blocks, and they were calling him for holding. So that was very frustrating. So that was our right guard. I'm going to go to Juwan Taylor now because I got to pull him back up because for some reason he dropped off. This is going by PFF rankings. You guys can look these up for yourself if you want later, but it's really cool. You just click on the guy's name and you go into season stats and it gives you a breakdown. Juwan had 17 penalties and he allowed 7 sacks himself. That's all right tackle. That's not a good situation to have. They're worse in the league, sadly, but that's still not a good situation to have. Creed Humphrey, do you want to guess how many penalties he had, huh?
A handful, maybe.
If your hand only has one finger.
He had one penalty all
season, and 0 sacks allowed. 0 sacks allowed.
Love that.
Mike Caliendo, in his dutiful backup of the interior position, the left guard, he had 237 snaps, 0 penalties, and 0 sacks allowed. So we got a solid guy on the inside backing up, which is great to know. And people are talking about Kingsley moving inside at the left guard and stuff. Mike might not give that spot up. Mike might be that guy. Wanya Morris, the one that everybody was hoping for. 732 snaps. How many penalties do you think he had, huh? For single digits or double digits?
I want to say close to double digits.
11 penalties and 5 sacks allowed. So that's suboptimal at your left tackle spot. The aforementioned Kingsley, 195 snaps. He had 3 penalties and 3 sacks allowed in limited play. DJ Humphries only played 92 snaps, still managed 2 penalties and 3 sacks allowed. So that's not good. Joe Tooney, 1 penalty all season long, no sacks allowed. Over 1,100 plays. Jalen Moore, who we brought in, and everybody, there's a lot of chief punditry out there. Okay. Love you guys. Half of you are from the skies falling ilk. Half of you are it's over. I'm melting. No, the Chiefs aren't melting. They're not going anywhere. Our quarterback's in his 20s. He's not done yet. Okay. Jalen Moore, who we're bringing over at 271 here. No penalties, 1 sack allowed. That is a limited amount of plays, but still almost 300. And massive improvement over what we saw at left tackle play in our rotation of guys, except for Joe Tooney. So yes, we're losing Joe Tooney at left guard, but we got a guy that, filled in very admirably for him, and a couple of the potential guys that I think Kingsley could be a really good guard on the inside. Maybe we have Trey for on the franchise tag this season, and maybe next year we have to let him go or work something out. I don't know. But Kingsley's a big boy, and if he can play inside, that could be a nice tool, nice piece. But who's to say Mike Caliendo doesn't just keep the job and be our new Joe Tooney? But Jalen Moore, he only learned behind Trent Williams. He only protected a much less mobile quarterback and Brock Purdy. Not immobile, but not Pat Mahomes. And he allowed 1 sack. So I'll take that. If you allow 1 sack every 5 games, he played 5 games last year. You're allowing like 3, maybe 3.5 sacks a season. I can live with that. It's not great. I don't want it. But Patrick Mahomes will live with that, I guarantee you. When he's got guys giving up 7 each and they're like not playing a whole season. That's kind of scary. So that's where we're sitting with those guys. It is what it is. Since the past 2 seasons, Warren's played 279 pass blocking snaps alone, and has allowed just 2 sacks in 2 seasons. So yes, please. He's played 12 games in his career, his young career, 5 of which he played last year. So he's fresh. He's got a lot of tread on the tires. Then that brings us to the other little pass blocker, the little pass pro protector once in a while, and Elijah Mitchell, 5'10", 200 pounds, and can scoot. So give me some of that. Hopefully he hits around his career average, which is 4.7 yards carry. He's got 9 touchdowns in limited use. He's got 1,523 yards in limited use. He's got 28 receptions and a touchdown in limited use. So can he be a Jerick McKinnon guy? Sure. And he can do it coming in at the ripe old age of 26 instead of 30-ish, which is nice. So we get a much younger version. Christian Fulton, 5'11", 197, and likes to hit people. He's our Leo Chenal of the cornerback room. He had 51 tackles this past year, an interception, 7 passes defensed. So yes, please, and thank you. And he also had a number of stuffs as well. He had 3 stuffs this year, which means he's playing close to the line of scrimmage sometimes and hitting people, which Spags likes to do with his corners. So I think it could be a nice addition to the team as well. Finally, the Xavier Worthy stuff, just to sum that up, was arrested, blah, blah, blah. We all know what it was charged with. And then it was just there's no pursuing charges after the case was looked at by the district attorney, which I'm not from there, but in what I've viewed, when there's a charge against a chief player, they get after it doggedly, and they look for any reason, rhyme, or way to charge them. And the fact that they were like, there's nothing here, that makes me feel a lot better. There's the he said, she said about her stealing stuff. We'll see what goes on with that. The she writes thing is much more complicated and messy. I don't want to touch that till we know what's going on. I don't want to assume anything on behalf of the young man. And lastly, I'm not going to pull the picture up, but you guys have all seen the draft hat by now, right? Have you seen the draft hat, Hong?
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
You're gonna make me do draft homework.
No, the draft cap. So for those of you guys who haven't seen it, I'll describe it to you. It's black. It just says Chiefs in gold across the top, the Chiefs logo in the front, Kansas City in gold below it. Real like old school look to it, but a black bonnet,
red dot on the top, red peak. There's
laurels on the peak, but they're red. They lost the perfect chance to put gold on the peak, the gold laurels. But then maybe it looked too much like a sailor's hat. I don't know. I like everything about it, and it says 1422, I think, on the front. I don't know what that is referenced to.
Yeah.
But somebody out there, if you guys know in the chat, let me know what that's in reference to. The only thing I don't like about it is they're asking $41 for it.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty penny.
Okay, we got more.
Yeah, I don't understand the 1422 on it either, but it's not a hat I'm adding to my collection.
Right.
I don't blame you.
I wonder if it's this.
I wonder if it's this. I wonder if the settings had my. I'm so sorry for anybody who's been dealing with this whole time. If the settings have. No, it has the Elgato mic to you as well, Hong. So it shouldn't be. Maybe if I put it on the HD camera mic. Can you still hear me, Hong?
Ooh, that's worse.
Can you hear me?
Is it echoey?
Very echoey.
So maybe
they were hearing that for some reason. Maybe it switched me over.
Is that better?
Better?
Well, my audio for yours is fine because we're just chatting through the Google Meet. But when I switch over to listen to you on the YouTube Live, it is echoey.
Oh, okay.
So switch over to the YouTube Live, and I'm going to do that switch over test again. Just for next time if we do it this way. I'm going to switch it over to the HD webcam microphone. If that even works. Is it even saying it's working? Give me an exclamation mark, which I don't know why it's doing that. But it's switched over. You should hear it by now.
It's still very echoey.
Still very echoey. I think it's just not
live. Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. We'll fix it. Trust me, we'll get it going, and we'll have it all sharp and polished and fun and whiz-bangical. In the meantime, it's been great to have you back on this echoey version of Chief's Chat. Apparently. Sounded good to me because I'm just hearing my own voice in my head. You sound lovely and wonderful as always. So nice and clean. I appreciate you guys chat inside the chat, and my apologies for baffling your eardrums. It's got to be like listening to people talk when the back windows are rolled down in the car. I hate that. So I can totally understand where you guys are coming from. In the meantime, let's do this again soon with improved sound and my overpriced microphone doing its job properly. In the meantime, guys, as always, the final two words. I'll let Hong say it so I don't echo you guys to death. Go ahead, Hong.
All right. Y'all say it with me. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. Oh, no.
So brutal.
Gosh, what the heck?